Good morning, everybody. Welcome. It is Easter Monday, and I picked up a little bit yesterday of a broadcast of the Messiah, sung socially distanced, played by a small orchestra on the television, and it was beautiful. What they'd done was shorten many of the songs, because those of you who know the Messiah or have sung in the Messiah, some of them are very, very long. And forgive me if you're a lover of the Messiah. I love the Messiah, but one or two of them can do without the repeat of the entire aria or the entire piece. But we actually turned it on just as this beautiful contralto lady was singing, "I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the last on the earth." And it reminded me of where it came from. It's one of the most surprising places to find a verse that speaks prophetically about Jesus, and it's from Job. Job 19, verse 25. "For I know that my Redeemer liveth." That's a wonderful thing. That just those few words. And then he goes on, "And though worms destroy my body, yet in my flesh shall I see God." Somehow God had revealed to him an understanding about death and resurrection that people of his generation, because it is regarded that Job was very, very early book, would perhaps not have understood. And this is, oh, excuse me, and this is the Holy Spirit. He reveals truths to us, and he revealed truths to the writers of the Old Testament that at the time they could not possibly make sense of. And they had the trust in God to write down exactly what God had said to them as he said it to them, and not introduce into the inspiration from the Holy Spirit their own thinking. "I know that my Redeemer liveth." How wonderful. And that's what we know today. If you doubt it, and there are people who doubt it, and it's so sad when we meet people who doubt it. I'm going to tell you a quick story. I hope I get it in the time. But there was a lady in the hospice who was very poorly. She came from quite a high church, high Anglican church, and she had regular visits from her vicar, and she didn't need the support of the chaplain, and that was fine. But my chaplaincy visitor, who was also born again and filled with the Spirit, let's put it that way, as I am, and she had visited her, and she came to me one day and she said, "Oh, the lady in room 8, she's asking to see you." And so we both went to see her, and she said, and she was bedbound, she was very poorly. She said to us, the two of us, she said, I've gone to church all my life. I know all the stories. I know all about it." But she said, your eyes shine. There's a life about you that no one who goes to my church has, and I want it." And I think she was talking about the Holy Spirit, that when we spoke about Jesus, something lit up, and and she could see it. She could see the difference. She said, "I want it." And we said, "Well, we're very happy to pray for you to be filled with the Spirit, and for God to give you what you see in us. Do you believe that Jesus died and rose again?" And she said, "Oh, I don't believe in any of the miracles." And we said to her, "Yeah, but don't you believe?" And she said, "Well, I don't believe there was a virgin birth or I don't believe any of the miracles. They're all nice stories, and they all teach us nice, good things about how we should live our lives. But I don't believe. I don't believe in any of the miracles, and it's impossible for someone to rise from the dead." And I thought about the scriptures, and I thought about Romans and the teaching of Paul. In my mind quickly went all these thoughts of how can she possibly receive the Spirit if she can't believe that Jesus rose from the dead? And the Lord, well, I hope I did the right thing. I just said to her, but you believe that Jesus lived and that he came to this earth to be our Saviour and that he died for our sins. And she said, oh yes, I believe that. And I said to her, well, just hold. And we stood either side of the bed and held a hand each. And we prayed for her. We prayed that God would fill her with the Holy Spirit, would accept her faith that Jesus had died for her, and would fill her with the Spirit. And he did. He filled her with the Spirit. And she just glowed for the last few days of her life. I never had another conversation with her because she didn't, well, it didn't work out that way. But it was amazing to me that someone could go to church all her life and not believe the miraculous and not believe that Jesus rose from the dead. Because if we don't believe that Jesus rose from the dead, how can we believe that we will rise? It's because he lives that we will live. Because he broke the power of death and hell, that we will not be held by it either, as we've put our trust in him. Now, I think God was extraordinarily gracious to that lady and gave her the blessing that she asked for and gave her joy. And I think she knew in the end of her life that there were mysteries that she could not account for and she could not explain away. And that believing Jesus rose from the dead was vital. Anyway, it is vital for all of us. Paul makes it quite clear in 1 Corinthians 15, which we shall come to soon. Do read on in 1 Corinthians. We shall be going to the chapter about spiritual gifts, which is 1 Corinthians 12, when we next meet, perhaps tomorrow. I don't know if I want to go heavily into spiritual gifts. I'll have to see what the Lord inspires me to say tomorrow. We could do a Bible study for months on spiritual gifts. How we do it in a few moments on a morning, I don't know, in a morning's thought. But that's my thought for the day, that Job, even Job, in all his suffering, knew that his Redeemer lived and that he would see his Redeemer in his own flesh when his Redeemer returned and stood on the earth. What wonderful faith. And rejoice, rejoice this week. It's Resurrection Week. Hallelujah. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.